QTP was formed in 1981, so that gives us 40 plus years of experience. My father started the business from his back shed, going around selling parts individually in a van all around Ireland for an entire week, and then came back and he used to pay back the bank manager, pay his suppliers, pay the mother to look after us, and he used to go again on a Monday morning. And now we're in 82 countries globally distributing tractor parts. My role would be global business development manager. So I would spend the majority of my time going out and acquiring, let's say, larger clients in foreign countries that are going to become master distributors. And then I would also attend trade show, visit factories, do QC and inspection of factories in other countries, and bringing back suppliers and onboarding larger suppliers for the business. I give two pieces of conflicting advice. One is you can lose yourself in trying to get every little detail and the way you want it done. You can lose yourself, I suppose, in over-speccing, all right, and leave things really complicated. And I think we made that mistake, first of all. I think if you work with an expert like Expertlogics and you look at the platform they have and say, right, if this is the platform that's working for another part supplier, and it's successful, why are we going in to tinker then to pull apart 50% of it and rewrite 50% of it? And sometimes you're better off not shoehorn, but run with a package that's available first and customize it a lot of time later. If you spend a lot of time customizing in the beginning, yes, the developers will love it and everyone will love it for sign off, but it could really complicate the process. So I think if I was starting again, I'd take more advice from the experts and less advice from myself, because we ended up, I suppose, unwriting a lot of the complicated things we put in the beginning. And as it developed and we worked at Expertlogics, I suppose we were the experts on how to store parts, but how to sell them online, I suppose maybe we could be accused of not listening in the beginning. For us, Expertlogics is ideally designed around what we do, because we started with the infancy of it. But I suppose there's a reason then that I would say 80% of our clients that move online, and international clients that move online, and let's say particularly over in the US market and over even as far afield as New Zealand, they have chosen Expertlogics because it's a ready to go package off the ground. So we're very niche and our customer is niche, but it's brilliant for our integration process then, because it's really easy for everyone to work together. So if someone was choosing a package for something else, I won't say Expertlogics is not for you. Obviously, people are using it for other things. I'm just not aware of it because I'm in my niche market. But I presume you guys are good at other stuff too besides parts. I think one of the things we definitely weren't expecting was the two things, I suppose. One was the workload afterwards. Yes, putting the workload into getting the website up and going is fine. But from a parts point of view, is maintaining and uploading your data, which again is not just one part, one number. The numbers are constantly changing. The models are constantly being updated. Parts that were made 40 years ago are still being fitted to tractors today. It requires an upkeep of data. And if you do not upkeep your data, your own data and your own database, you can throw your hat at it, because you'd be out of date. In our industry, you'd be out of date in a couple of years. And I suppose the second thing we weren't expecting, when we were zero digital online presence, zero ordering online beforehand, we were fax machines, order books, catalogs. We did not expect the uptake to be so quick. Like I remember at one stage we had 16 ISDN lines for the older group among us coming in here, and there was also a wait function on our line and hunting on our telephone lines, and people answering phones 24/7. The uptake on it was so fast, and I would say in the space of 6 to 7 months, our sales office was like a ghost town. You know, we had time to drink coffee in the morning. It was quite unusual. And our customer base would be a very traditional customer base. But I suppose the fact that they can order parts 365, 24 hours a day, they don't have to wait on the phone, and it's instant, that we just weren't prepared by that, the uptake of. We thought it would take like 2 or 3 years for it to take off. In terms of implementation, I think consultation is key with your group within your company, all right? But at the same time, there has to be one person at the head of it making the decisions. If you ask 20 people for 20 opinions, and even from 20 different age groups, okay, you're going to spend 4 years designing the website. At the end of the day, the only person that has to be happy with the website, funny enough, is not the company that my company that designs it. It has to be the customer. What does the customer want? And at the end of the day, if you think you want it to work this way and the customer, all your customers say, no, we want to work that way, you better do it the way the customer wants it. If it's complicated for the customer and it's not what they want, they're really the ultimate decider on how a website should work. It sounds counterintuitive and you think you know what the customer wants, but you think you're going to do it the way the customer wants, but you as well just listen to your customer and not the way you do it. One of the biggest barriers to implementation is we want to do the same process of ordering that we have now. You know, if that process of ordering was very efficient, you wouldn't be moving online. All right. So the whole thing is to simplify. And I think that's what customers want. They want a simplified user experience, an intuitive user experience. And that was the most important thing. One of the main reasons we moved to ExpertLogic/Afix at the time was that our ERP wasn't capable of storing the data, and such a package at the time didn't exist anywhere in the world, and we looked all around for it, that was able to store the data in a format that could be used by the customer. Unless you're a massive OEM like a major manufacturing company that manufactures tractors with unlimited resources for these packages, they weren't available. So necessity was the key to getting us over the line. Yeah, the hurdle was all internal. And if I could go back and speak to Alan at the time that we implemented that, I would have said, Alan, do it 10 years beforehand. And I should have done it, right, maybe not 10 years, but definitely 5-6 years before that. I should have just bit the cherry and gone straight in at it. Fear of not having it, fear of the project and that things were going to change was probably one of the reasons that held us back for so long. And if I could have started 10 years beforehand with Afix, ExpertLogic, I would have. Yeah. It's not a big project when you have a good partner, and I didn't realize the time that we were going to have such a good partner as we had with Afix. So it's not as big a project as that. And in our business, we have had horror stories of, and still have horror stories today, of people implementing a website with a bad service provider. So I'm kind of in a dual situation where I've helped clients that have bad service providers and moved them on to a good service provider in Afix. But I didn't have that helping hand when I started. I just got either damn lucky or, I don't know, a luck, I think, or fate, who knows. It's hard for someone. It's hard for a company, or let's say people, an organization that's in that groove of record of, I was that soldier, so I was a great believer in the catalogs and the price list and all that. I've been that soldier and been that warrior. Still today, I have a little graw for catalogs when I get a hold of them, for going through them and all that. But at the end of the day, even in my own business now, when I'm going looking for a product, and we have approximately 22,000 SKUs here, and I'm pretty proficient at using catalogs because I grew up with them. First place I'll still go is to my website to find that part, and I will have it within 2 or 3 clicks. The customer, on the plus side then, the customer is equally as able to find it faster than I can find it with a catalog, can find it on my own website. So unless you're going to develop a sales base of people that actually know the product inside out, up and down, where it is on every page and every single catalog, you're always going to be relying on the human element. We allow customers through Afix or ExpertLogic's developed API. We allow our complete catalog products, all our intellectual database, to be completely shared on their website. So if they were to put all our 22,000 parts online, first of all, I couldn't get the information out to them in Excel because it's too big, and they wouldn't be able to organize it even if they got it in some kind of Excel sheet. So we had developed this API whereby then a customer can have an entire section on their website entirely populated with our data, but make it look the way they want it through via API. All right, that updates every night. If I add in 200 products this month, that 200 products shows up on their website. And that's an integration we do with trusted distributors, and it works very well. So instead of me setting up a business down in New Zealand, I have a distributor down there, and he has all the information and data I have with all the localized New Zealand bells and whistles. And we have a guy in Canada, we have a guy in the US, and they are also using the Experlogics platform. So that leaves integration. But we have integrated websites that don't have the Experlogics platform. But again, the API and all that is powered from there. That was a development we done over 7-8 years ago now, and all of those customers now are in the top 10 profile customers for the company, all driven by, I suppose, driven by the people, but primarily driven by the AFIX API integration, what I would call platform. I would recommend it. I have recommended it. I recommend it to anyone that asks me for an online platform. There's several businesses, even locally around here, where it's gone into because I'm using it and I've had the success of using it, and they're not even related to the parts business. So yeah, I've no problem recommending Experlogic AFIX internationally as well. And I think there is a couple of my international customers using it. So the proof is the pudding is in the eating, and they're using it 5-6 years. If you take a country like America, or you take a country like Canada, there must be Experlogic AFIXs times 300, and yet they're still using an Irish company across the water to do the business for them. So I think that speaks for itself. The product catalog is the product catalog at the very beginning, when it could be customized for the spare parts, and we did customize it for spare parts. That is the key, and that is the real driver. All our intellectual knowledge of this entire company is stored in there, and every time we manipulate it, change it, cross-reference it, link two fields together, every time we develop it, it's the catalog. We had maybe 8 people working on our catalogs, designing photos, putting in text, organizing, collating. We need experts in Adobe Creative Suite, in Adobe InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, all this type of thing. You cut all that work out of it. Then you can assign that aspect of your business to marketing. It's all online now. Let's market it online, where people are spending, I think I read some statistic that it's 3.5 hours on their phone a day now. Let's focus on selling it to those people. They're on the phone, they're on the internet already. All right. So I think you can redeploy your resources into something that will generate more money and spend less time, I suppose, in the older way of doing things of catalog. I'm ordering stuff at the dinner table at night now. I'm ordering stuff when I'm out for the missus on a Saturday night for stuff that I know I want for Monday morning, right? And I've actually, some of the customers say, I need to take an app break from the QTP website now, right? Because when I'm on the toilet, I'm using the website to either look up parts, thinking about parts, what I need for next week, or stuff I'm out of stock on. It's a bit facetious to say it's a bad thing, but most people say to me, it's just great to have it available 365. When I'm out in the job in the middle of a field, I can see what I need, I can see the diagram of what I want, and I can order it. All right. I can't do that. I cannot carry catalogs with me everywhere. I can order it, have it the next morning at 9 o'clock. Nobody else is providing that type of service. So that's nice to hear. And it's nice to hear that lads are ordering Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I hope they keep it up. We have 5 days in the week, obviously, and we break up our sales by those days in the week. After we went online and the thing got up and going, we actually had an extra sales day. We're selling 6 days out of 5 now, because all the orders come in from Friday at 6 o'clock to Monday at 7 a.m. when we start. We now actually, when we're calculating our sales targets, we had to readjust. Instead of breaking those days down into 5, and let's say reps were hitting target very easily, we actually had to break them down into 6, because we count the weekends an extra day.